Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ivy. I am so excited to be doing this today. It's actually my first video on my channel, so I'm super excited for doing this. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you more and more to get more value from my channel. So today's topic, I have chosen to talk about financial literacy and why. The reason why is because now I will share a little bit about my story so you know where I'm from and where I'm at currently. So my background was in the healthcare industry. Now, currently, I no longer do work in the industry. I'm actually now a trader by profession. I've been in the trading world for over 2 years now. It's been an incredible journey. Just getting some enlightenment on this other side of the quadrant has been a real blessing. Now, the reason why I chose financial literacy today is, coming back, taking you back a little bit again from my previous background, which was in the healthcare industry. I did not know anything about financial world because, of course, those are two different worlds. Now, my first enlightenment came in when I actually first read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now, Rich Dad Poor Dad is such a great book. If you haven't read it, please grab a hands on it. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki is an all-time seller. He's got multiple books on wealth, on finances, and just that awareness that we're not taught this information in school to actually empower us to become better people and actually manage our finances correctly, and even understanding what assets are and what are liabilities. So when I first read that book, it gave me such a light globe moment that I knew that I needed to do something different with my life and most importantly with my finances. So we're going to start off with the cash flow quadrant. Please, if you haven't read that book, grab a hold of it, and then you will actually understand what the cash flow quadrant is. Now, the cash flow quadrant breaks down, Robert Kiyosaki breaks down how, in this world, how wealth is distributed among the certain groups of people that are in this world. So we all understand, of course, there's a rich and there's a middle class and there's a poor. So there's different classes. And on top of that as well, we have, employees, self-employed people, investors, and business people. So Robert Kiyosaki on the cash flow quadrant talks about all the four separate entities and breaks them down to understand where each individual is and what actually happens in that quadrant. So we'll start off with an employment. So on the left side of the quadrant, we have the employees and the self-employees, and on the right side of the quadrant, we have investors and the business owners. So when I was in the healthcare industry, of course, I was an employee. I was working for someone, exchanging time for money. So in this quadrant, of course, every time you go to a job, if you don't show up to a job, you don't get paid. That's the unfortunate truth, and it's the painful truth that we all live by. And if you don't change that kind of situation, nothing will change. So when I read that book and I understood that, wow, I actually exchange my time for money, and if I don't do anything different, I will continue to do this for the rest of my life. That was really enlightening, and I was like, okay, I need to really do something about it. Moving forward, we have the self-employers. So self-employed people are people with a small franchise. This could be a small business, could be a hairdresser, a carpenter, any small businesses that are running a coffee shop and that kind of thing. So these people who run these businesses, of course, they're better off because they're working on businesses that they love. They're working on their passion, and again, if they don't show up to their businesses, of course, these businesses will not run without them. So that's, again, they have some freedom, but not have full-time freedom, because at the end of the day, the business operates with them around. If they're not there, the business doesn't operate. Now we go to the business and the investors, which is the right side of the quadrant, and this is the side that everybody should work towards getting to, because now here is where you find you will eventually get time freedom and financial freedom. Now, business owners they do not exchange time for money. They have businesses which are big franchises where a CEO, or for example, or Woolworths, or Costco, all these big brands around the world, McDonald's, these franchises run without actually the CEO being present. So they've created a system that is replicable, without them being present. So if they go on a holiday, their business will continue to run. If they're not well on a day specifically, the business will continue to run, because they've created a system that automatically will go on with or without them. And that is smart, because again, now you have some freedom. You have time then to actually put that time towards something else. And again, money still comes to you regardless of whether you show up or you don't check on those businesses. Your businesses are still running. Now you have the investor quadrant. Now the investor quadrant is the best quadrant to actually be work towards on, because again, on the investor section, money works for you. So you're not working for money, money works for you. So whatever it is that you're doing, you're getting the education, you're learning how to invest correctly, and then of course now you're generating wealth. Now this is where you create residual income. Money comes to you whether you're sleeping or you just get paid because of investments that you've made. So maybe this could be in stocks, this could be in shares, this could be in trading. So when I understood that, it gave me such a light bulb moment when I thought, okay, wow, I need to do something different. And so when trading came across my life, I was like, okay, this is definitely a vehicle that I would like to go for, because I realized that whatever I was doing at the time, I was actually exchanging time for money. And if I didn't do anything different, it's not going to change. It would never have changed if I wouldn't have done anything different. So fast forward today, I'm going to talk about a few things that I wanted to talk about and just break down the three types of income that we have. And I did talk about the cash flow quadrant, but the first income, of course, is earned income. So earned income means that you're an employee, you don't show up to a job, you don't get paid. So it is the lowest form of income, unfortunately, because of course you are valued according to the efforts that you put. So you have a capped amount of money that you get paid, and that is unfortunate, because if you believe that you're destined for greatness, no one should live in a capped environment. Again, if you're happy in what you do, that's okay. That is definitely okay. But if you believe that you're destined for more and you deserve to live a life of abundance and greatness, of course, then you go forth and work on yourself to actually then get to a place where money works for you, or you're actually able to create wealth where you have time and financial freedom to spend with the people that you love. Now, the second type of and also back again onto the earned income, you have a lot of people in that who are employees are not risk takers, because again they're so conformed in a lifestyle where someone makes a decision for you. Your boss will tell you when to show up to a job, your boss will tell you how much you will earn, your boss will tell you when you need to take a holiday. So you live a lifestyle of being controlled, and a lot of people who are employees or on an earned income, they lose their wit on actually making their own decisions, because they're so used to actually being controlled by your boss, because your boss dictates a lot of the things that you do across around your life, which is quite unfortunate. But again, this is what happens in being in an environment where you have to do what is expected of you in a workplace environment. Now, moving forward, we're going to talk about wealth and the wealth mindset and a poverty mindset. Now, why did I choose this? Because the reason why I chose this is a lot of people who have the poverty mindset have a lot of fear in taking risks, have a lot of doubt in opportunities. This is a place where a lot of people doubt every opportunity that comes along them, instead of actually thinking of how the opportunity could be a potential opportunity that could change their life. They're on forth, they doubt every process, instead of actually, having that faith to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to give this a try, but at least I gave it a shot. So whereas in comparison to the wealth mindset are risk takers. They empower others. They take risks, because again, nothing great comes in your comfort zone, and we all understand that. We need to step out into the unknown for us to find our greatness. So it is important that of course you get the right mindset around money, have a good relationship around money, because a lot of growing up myself, I was brought up having, you always hear this sayings that your parents would always say, money did not grow up on trees. Save money, and don't spend money on the right things, and that's all good and well and true, but it programs you to think a type of way. So when it comes to investing, when it comes to taking risks, you're programmed to think, oh no, this might not work, or this might be a scam, this might be, just because you are stepping into the unknown that is not the normal of what everybody does in the society. And that's where now poverty mindset actually impacts a lot of people, because of the programming that most of us grew up from our parents, and who are innocent because they didn't know any different. But again, it's coming to a place of, okay, look, this is how I grew up, but this does not define me. I need to actually then get myself involved with the right information in order for me to change my current situation, and more so change that generational wealth for my family and my tree, and obviously for the new generation that is yet to come. So maybe your kids or your your kids, and breaking that barrier of having a good relationship around money, because all the programming that has happened in the past, it really affects a lot of people, and that's where people have fear, have a bad relationship around money. You look at some places, some countries around the world have a lot of poverty, because again, it's that relationship of money where people have a scarcity mindset instead of actually having an abundant mindset. Now let's talk about passive income and why passive income is important. Now, passive income, again, will take you back on the cash flow quadrant, is the right side of the quadrant. So if you're an investor, you have passive income. Now passive income is powerful because money will get paid to you whether you do anything, whether you're sleeping, whether you're on a holiday, you still generate cash. And that's the lifestyle that everybody needs to seek to achieve. This is where now you have financial freedom, you have time freedom to do anything and everything that you desire. And of course, you're not limited on anything else that you'd like to do. You can actually then go forth and start your passion. You could be generating cash to do other things that you love as well, because again, everyone has passions that we'd like to pursue. But again, what limits us in achieving those passions is because if you're working a job, you don't have the time freedom to then go forth and, okay, I'm gonna put my, I don't have time to start my passion, because one, I may not have enough capital, and two, I don't even have the time to go forth and do this, because if I work 10-hour days at the end of the day, and I have to go home and prepare for the kids or do what you have to do, your day is gone, and you don't have time to actually focus on something else that you may be passionate about. So generating of passive income is really powerful, because this allows you to do all the other things that you may want to do. Of course, to generate this kind of income, you need to have some boldness in you. It just doesn't happen. You have to actually have, be a risk taker, be courageous to actually do some things that you've never done before, and step into the unknown, because of course, this is where, growth mindset, this is where you learn a new skill set. This could involve, starting a new opportunity that you've never done before. And then through these opportunities, then they generate such income, which then on top, long term, pays you forever and gives you that time freedom. Now, a lot of people with a poverty mindset, of course, they are always negative around this type of businesses or type of ways to actually generate cash flow, because they're so used to actually receiving a paycheck that they've exchanged for their time. So if they don't understand any other way that they can make money, because they're so used to, okay, going to a job, you get paid. If I stay home, I don't get paid. But then understanding that there's so many other ways, and just because of lack of knowledge, you have that stigma around that just because I don't know, it's not legit. It doesn't work. And that's a sad place to be in. Of course, we have to put yourself at a place of seeking knowledge in order to become a better person, because if you're not growing, you're dead. So you always have to constantly be working on yourself to become a better person in order to actually then develop and achieve certain things, and stepping into the unknown, because again, fear comes in the way of a lot of people in terms of when they need to work on themselves. Fear comes as a barrier to stop you from going to the next level. And when anything great in this world is on the other side of fear. So you have to come to a place of, okay, this may be new to me, but I'm gonna take the step of faith and say I'm gonna give it a shot. Because at the end of the day, if I don't give it a shot, I will never know until I tried it. So it's really important to just get off that mindset and just say, I'm going to give it a shot regardless. So whatever it takes, I'm going to try it and see the outcome. And there's nothing as great as living in a place of at least you tried, rather than living at a place of regret where you said, I wish I did it. Because that's the worst place to be in. And it really brings a lot of sourness within you, and a lot of regret, which is really not worth it. And it's not it's not a great place to be in, because of course no one wants to live their life. We all have life is too short. We have 400 seconds in a day. So we don't have a lot of time. Time keeps passing, and of course it's what we do with that time, because time wasted is never recovered. Now moving on, guys, we're going to talk about portfolio income. What is a portfolio income? So of course, once you're able to generate wealth, this could be passive income, this could be an investor, this could be a business owner, somehow where you've created a lot of wealth. Of course, why I say this right side of the quadrant, you'll be able to create a portfolio income is because you have a lot of cash flow. Or else if you're only if you're an employee, your cash flow is limited to certain things. It's going to pay the bills, it's going to pay whatever, everything falls onto that bracket. So you don't have any extra money to actually do anything else. You cannot create generate a portfolio income, because again, you need a decent amount of capital to do some of the things. So some of the examples that you could do in a portfolio income could be real estate. Real estate is a good way that you could actually start generating cash flow as well. And of course, there's so many I'm not going to go into real estate, but there's so much that you can do in terms of real estate investment, and that could be a way of actually generating income. You have oil wells, you have mining rights, you could actually get into mining as well. That could be an opportunity to actually generate more cash flow, and creating these portfolios that actually then will allow you to have more income coming to you. And this is now where wealth is created, because remember, we want to be at a place of generating wealth, and wealth can be passed on to generations. Because if you have a real estate portfolio, this is something that your kids can manage. This is something that your grandkids can actually manage. Oil wells, mining rights, all these kind of things. This is a portfolio that you can pass on to generations, that could actually leave a legacy to your family, to your kids, and that kind of thing. So it's really more getting at a place of walking in faith rather than fear, because in passive income is where you create cash flow, and the cash flow then will actually be able to generate you a portfolio income that then you'll be able to now generate that wealth over time. Now, last but not least, guys, I would like to just finish off on the the difference between the poverty and the wealth mindset. And I know I did touch on it at the beginning, but the difference between these two people, the poverty mindset, you must learn to build trust. In order for you to get out of that mindset, a lot of people in the poverty mindset have doubt issues, have fear issues. Learn to build relationships. You must learn to trust people, because again, people is where wealth is. You need to have that relationship through people. Learn to trust, because a lot of people with insecurities, it makes it very hard for them to actually go for and trust someone that they are bringing in a good opportunity. They are actually trying to share an opportunity that could potentially change your life. Because the question you need to ask yourself, okay, someone has brought an opportunity to you, but if I say no, but what if this is an opportunity that changes my life? What if this is an opportunity that my kid's life will never be the same? What if that this is what brings breakthrough in our lives, that we're never going to work for someone ever in our lives, that we're going to have all the abundance that we ever desire, all our goals and desires will be met? So it's really coming to a place of walking in faith rather than fear. And wealthy people, they value gifts and talents. So there's the wealth, obviously, always look at people's strengths. They will, obviously, empower people, give people opportunities. You'll see a lot of wealthy people love to serve. They will do a lot of charities. You'll see a lot of them have, charity foundations. They have, orphanages that they run. Of course, because they like to nurture people's strengths and actually then serve more, because of course they want to empower other people. But also, poor people then get to a place of jealousy, where I don't want to empower my friend to do better than myself. And this now comes to scarcity, because when there's scarcity, you feel like you actually they're in competition. Whereas if you're living in abundance, there is so much out there. There's so much success. There's so much wealth for all of us to get a small pie of it, and all of us to bring each other up to become better people. So guys, that is my topic today. I hope you'll get some value from that. I will keep doing some more videos. So tune in. If you like if you like the video and you like the information that I shared, subscribe. I'm gonna do more of this. I'm gonna be talking about different things and things that have actually helped me. And of course, I hope to see you guys back on my channel again. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.